What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where I'm going to check out a Turmoil knee pad build. Now, I don't usually fanboy over the Turmoils. I really struggle with them in harder content, as I think it reduces your general time to kill, especially when you are being pushed, which means obviously you can die a little bit more easily than normal. But I do believe that in the game they do have their uses. They're very good with one-shot sniper builds. They're very good in easier content to make it, even easier. But as you can see, we are going to select Legendary here at Roosevelt Island for a change, just to try out a LMG build. Now, to start off, just a heads up, I have got seasonal modifiers on, as you can see in the top left, that are maxed out. So that's obviously going to play into my rate of fire and my damage. I might try and take them off afterwards, depending on how good this actually is. But let's just give this a go and see how we get on. Now, you don't have to use the blue screen. I am using the blue screen for this. I'm a big fan of the Pestilence as well. But I do like the extended mag. As you can see, we get 260 in the blue screen, which I thought was a little bit weird for a second. So let's just kind of spec this out a little bit, and let's just see kind of how we get on here. And the extended mag is so nice. Actually, that's pretty crazy. Shooting the dog has killed so many other enemies on the field. That's actually insane. Now, that's actually insane how good that went. And we all know Roosevelt isn't easy. I did this on purpose because obviously doing DUA, they're very lined up and stuff and things like that. So it can make it, a little bit easier. Just going to try this second section, see if it goes as well, because we're in a little bit more of a tighter pinch here. And then I might actually try the start without the seasonal modifiers. And see if this is going to be a build that we can use. I didn't activate Sanitation or Zealot or anything like that, but I've purposely gone for the tank here because we have to put a lot of bullets into him. And obviously, as you can see, it's causing a lot of disruption around the field because of the blue screen. I mean, that is actually pretty wild right off the rip. We are so far ahead of the game and on Legendary as well. Okay, so that was pretty easy. So we're back at the beginning now on Legendary again. But this time I have taken the season modifiers off because obviously 30% extra weapon damage plus 30% extra rate of fire is actually pretty insane. And we'll just see now if the blue screen will do as good of a job without them buffs. I'm kind of hoping that it does. But I guess we will find out. No, please don't switch to the minigun. I really don't want that. Automatically straight away you can tell the rate of fire is significantly slower. And because of that, we're already suffering a little bit. We're going to throw out our decoy. Can we tag him over there? Nope. We don't mind playing the suppressed game for a minute. We are killing people still by tagging him. How did that not get him? Oh, that hurt to the face. Alright, so the dog's here now, which should be good for us because we can just plow into him from cover. And that worked out really well. The CC kicks in. There we go again. More CC, please. Stop the healing. And essentially, it's working just as well, just a little bit slower. Focus on, you know, the enemies that take a lot of bullets, and everything else around just kind of KOs and dice. And we all know Roosevelt Legendary is not the easiest of selections. So yeah, really, really good. Very impressed with how this is working. So let's show you the actual build. So this is unlike, I think a build I posted the other day, and I'll put that in the comments down below, would do as well here. We could probably slot turmoils into that and do just as good of a job. I didn't want to rerun that build just by swapping one piece, Fox's Prayers, for turmoils. I feel like it would have been a bit of a scam of a video. So therefore this time we went with the brand new set, Tipping Scales, and we changed the gun as well to the blue screen. But obviously you could probably slide in the Bullet King and have a really good time, slide in the Pestilence and have a really good time as well. What you've got to remember a little bit is with the overdogs, to get the maximum damage, we are going to have to kill the correct enemy on the field to make it that we get this 30% amp damage. I don't really pay too much attention to it. I sometimes kind of let it just happen, especially when you're in Legendary. You've got to really take care of yourself rather than trying to prioritize enemies, because if you do, sometimes what will happen is you'll just end up dying because you're trying to not kill enemies. They end up pushing you and things like that. So you can pay attention to this by having it on, but to be honest, I like to just not worry too much about it. It does play into the playstyle a little bit, because as you can see here, tier 1 with the Warhound. So you've got to think about that as well. They're on the battlefield. We're going to plow into them to get as much damage around as we possibly can. But it's the lowest ranking enemies in combat. So you've got to think about that it's not really the right way around. But, you know, still 30% amp when we're getting it is a huge amount of damage. The turmoils with the bewildered. So when dealing weapon damage to an enemy, 50% of the damage will be dealt to another enemy within 30 meters instead. Is just crazy. And then, like I said here, we're going to run Tipping Scales, which gives us mag size, which is why the mag is so much bigger. I was a little bit surprised at the beginning of the video. 30% LMG damage, and then we get the full throttle talent, which gives us weapon handling, which is great for reload on an LMG, and critical hit damage. Then we're going to run the backpack so that we get the increase from 4 to 7 on the snowball. We're going to run the chest piece so that we get the increase from 50 to 75, which comes in really handy when we've got a magazine so big and we're shooting it against enemies in Legendary. And then we're going to run Tipping Scales on the holster as well with a crit chance mod. Well, with a crit chance roll, not a mod. What am I talking about? Then here I'm running the decoy. I like it because it's got a short cooldown, and the fact that it can do me a little bit of a favour when I need to proc the blue screen earlier than a kill. So that's to think about. You could run a pulse, I guess. It's probably a shorter cooldown, 18 seconds. But I do like running the decoy because of the advantages that it gives. There is also the striker drone, which will obviously do a little bit of damage as well and is great in being a decoy. But the cooldown on that is a little bit more. So you got to think about what you want to do, what content you're running. Totally up to you. You could put a hive down and pick it up as well. That's also an option. Yeah, just to proc the blue screen. So obviously the blue screen is the star of the show here though, because not only is it doing a lot of damage with my crit chance roll on, it's also doing a lot of CC. And this is what I used for one of the first master missions as well, and it got me through it with making it an absolute breeze. So basically, this is the CC effects that it will have. Now, you can see here, once you get 11 to 25 stacks, it pulse and disrupts the marked target. So then, once you get higher, it does even more CC, pulse, disrupt, and disorientate. And then at the top of the stacks, we get pulse, disrupt, and disorientate marked targets. and all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked target for 5 seconds. So that's why it's just so good when we're running these with the turmoils, because that 5 meters around them can become a huge range all the way around the battlefield. So yeah, it just works out really, really well. Here is the stats: 57.5 crit chance, 117 critical hit damage, and 85% headshot damage. If we were going to turn the active modifiers back on, and I mean, why wouldn't we? We saw how much better it was. You can see here at the moment in time, I am maxed out. All of my zone is green, 30-30. I would have used Sanitation, but you could use Zealot as well. Sanitation, again, it burns enemies when you crit on them, giving you even more CC, which is really, really good. I really, really like it. And then I like using Stepping Stone, Compromised, and Rupert's Tur. All just really good modifiers for general use, and we don't have to worry about being spec'd into any kind of faction or anything like that. Although if you are going against hyenas, the unfriendly fire one is particularly good. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Some of the very last DJ Tickle arm patch codes will be in the description down below. Thank you for all your love and support. I really appreciate all the subs recently, all the channel joining members as well. Thank you so, so much. And if you're not already subbed or joined to the channel, please do consider it down below underneath this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.